Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. I have the Wandering Star Tarot on the tarot table for this one because we're looking at that appeal hearing that's going to be happening in London, the Court of Appeal, on the 8th and 9th of April. That's next week. It's Harry's appeal, his security case. Excuse the banging in the background. As soon as I clicked record, the neighbours started a DIY project. Never mind. We're looking at Prince Harry and his security appeal. He's lost every round so far in this thing, and I think it's purely by grace of his status that this appeal has been allowed, and it's really the end of the road for this case. My personal opinion is that he's going to win this appeal and they're going to kick it back to Ravik, the decision makers. Because even if he wins this appeal, it doesn't mean he automatically gets his full 24/7 security back as a very important or internationally protected person, however it goes. It's still got to go back to the decision maker, and they've got to rehear the whole thing. Of course, they lost their security when they Mexited. They lost their HRHs. They were no longer working royals. They went off, well, first of all to live in Canada, then the United States, and they were told that they were going to lose their security, and it's been a massive bone of contention. And the excuse why Meghan and the children really never go to the UK, and Harry very seldom, because of course they're in so much danger in the UK. So that's the context. That's where we are in this whole wretched saga that's cost the taxpayer a whole lot of money, wasted a lot of time and resources in the court system and in what's the word, not the government, but bureaucracy, the people who actually have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis. So we're going to ask how confident Harry is, and we're going to ask if he's going to win this round, if he's going to win this appeal. Then we're going to ask how the powers that be, the establishment, feel about him. What do they really think of him? And is he going to ultimately get that security back that he's been bleating about because he's so important, and of terrible racists in the UK are just anxious to do all kinds of terrible things to him and particularly his darling wife and his two children that we never see, and nobody knows what they look like and who they are and where they are and even why they are. So that's what we're doing, 5-card reading. Let us remember it's just tarot and it's for entertainment purposes and it's all my opinion and it's just energy I read, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. The Wandering Star Tarot is falling apart at the seams. Judgment, interesting, in reverse. Ooh, that showed up. Interesting card to want to show itself to us. So, let's see, 5-card reading, what's going on. It's kind of a loose ends day today, and this is a loose end. It's been dragging on. I can't remember when the case first started. Was it 2020 or a little bit later? But it's been dragging on a long time. It's cost a lot of money. It's wasted a lot of resources. Choice time, decision time, basically. The Lovers, and the Lovers are about choices. Obviously, the Harry and Meghan saga, it's really about them as a couple. It's not really about Harry on his own. She's the one that's been driving this because she's the one that's been winding him up, according to the energy that I have read previously, and also of things that he has said that you don't know. They could be out somewhere and some crazy person might throw acid at them. He has said that at her. So my personal opinion is that this is something she's been bleating about. She wants him to carry forward so she can get the outriders, the flashing lights. She's quite happy to wind down the window of her high security vehicle so people can get a better shot of her. Paparazzis, not sharpshooters. And I think it's coming from her. And there was another thought that has left my mind entirely. Of course, the IPP status would be very handy to have security paid for all over the place. They won't have to spend something like $3 million a year on security in the United States. It would be up to the US taxpayer if it isn't already. I don't think it is already. I have read on that previously. Didn't look like it. I know many people suspect that they are secretly getting security paid for by the United States government. It would mean when they went on their full royal tours, those countries would have to stump up and pay. It would also mean certain kinds of immunities and stuff like that. So I think it's something that she's really driving, and he's the messenger, and he is very often the messenger, even the flying monkey, as we discussed very recently on this channel, allegedly. So where are we now? The situation we're dealing with the Ace of Pentacles, beginnings, prosperities. This is prosperity. This is a whole new way of being, a new mission, a new financial situation, much more secure. The Ace of Pentacles is all about security. It's about long-term security. It's about, this is your future. The road is paved with gold. You don't have to worry about anything. You're on a sure path to success. So it tells me that this is very important to them. If this decision goes the way Harry and Meghan wanted to go, it could open up new horizons. It could open up a horizon of returning to the UK. I know nobody wants to hear that. For him anyway, and possibly the kids. There would be no excuses for her to say, no, I'm not letting you take Archie to the Invictus Games in Birmingham in 2027 because a terrible thing might happen. So it's very important. I'm reading from his point of view. This is very important. This is a very important thing for him as well, not just for them as a couple. It's coming through quite loudly, that message, that it would make a big difference in his life circumstances. Interesting, long term. So how confident is he of winning this appeal? Very. 10 of Pentacles, absolutely. If you could bet the house on it, he would. Absolutely confident. He's confident also, and this is interesting because the 10 of Pentacles is one of those royal family cards, being part of the generational sort of wealth and status and lineage. He's confident, I think, that a word has been whispered in whoever is hearing its ear, the Court of Appeal judge, and word has been whispered, and it's going to go Harry's way. This is maximum confidence, 10 of Pentacles. He believes that his money is safe, his status is safe, his entitlement, his sense of entitlement is justified. The royal family, he's been messaging the king through the press in the past year or so that all you've got to do is decree it and make it so, and then my security will be back. He doesn't seem to understand the nuances of the situation, and that's not the king who makes the decision, it's this committee. He seems to believe, because I think he believes in divine law and that sort of absolute rule and all that kind of stuff, the ancient, right of kings, that who cares about the minions and committees and stuff like that? Pa can just announce it and the committee will roll over. He's probably not that wrong when he thinks that. I just have to say, that's my personal observation, watching the royal family for a very long time. Yeah, I think he might have a point in this case. So he's very confident. He really is super confident. We've got the Ace of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. He's feeling like I finally got to the level in this court case where it's going to swing my way. And then Ravik will just roll over and do what Pa tells him to do. So let's see how this round is going to go, this appeal. As I say, this appeal doesn't decide whether he gets security back. It kicks it back to Ravik. How's it going to go? It's Queen of Wands in reverse. Doesn't look very good. Interesting. Queen of Wands in reverse is Meghan, whose nose is going to be out of joint about this. Meghan has been undermining the security case recently, in my opinion. Not only my opinion, I've noticed comments around and about, particularly when she went back on Instagram and started showing the kids. Yes, from the back, but she was showing the house, the gardens, the kitchen, the kids, And if you're that worried about people kidnapping your children, to the extent that we heard the rumor that they were trying to insist that there was an armed guard at the door of the classroom where Archie is, at the school he is at, when he's in kindergarten in California. We've heard that story a few months ago, read on it. If you're that worried, you wouldn't put your children on Instagram. You wouldn't use them to merch your jam, your spreads. It's not even jam. Your herbal teas, your crepe mix, would you? No. So she could be the weak link in this. She was the one, of course, who was happy to wind down her window in the car so that they could get a nice, the paparazzi could get a nice shot of her. She's done other things over time that have made this whole security thing seem not that compelling. I don't know what kind of evidence, what kind of stuff is going to be discussed in this court case. It's more like the stuff that would go back to Ravik and they would discuss, I would imagine. But it looks like if she's the motivating factor, our underlying energy, I mentioned her there because it's the lovers, it's the happy couple, the perfect pair, not so much. She's the one who looks like she's going to be upset by how this goes. Interesting. So, if you can hear crunching, it's Fluffy, who's eating her kibble. She's appeared for the performance. The powers that be, the establishment, how do they view this situation? What do they think of Prince Harry right now? And we've got Temperance card in reverse. They really don't like him. They don't like his attitude to the law, to the public, his expectations. It's balance, it's harmony, moderation when it's upright. Patience, being angelic, trying to accommodate all points of view. The Temperance card is very much like a mediation energy. Let's all sit and talk and thrash things out in an amicable way, in a reasonable way. It's coming across as really unreasonable. And I think that they really sincerely believe this, in my opinion. It has been explained to him several times through this whole legal process that the decision process was reasonable, it was rational, they took everything into account. His circumstances had changed radically by not being a working royal, by losing his HRH and all his patronages and all the rest of it. So who does he think he is? And the other royals in similar rank to him, yes, they're not the son of a king, but the other ones like Beatrice and Eugenie and Zara and the rest of them, they don't have security. They might get security for very specific events, high profile events when they need it, but the rest of the time their day-to-day lives completely undercover, out of public sight. They are not provided with 24/7 royal security paid for by the British taxpayer. So they really have a very low opinion of him. I think they think he's unreasonable, obsessive, irrational, angry, that he's causing trouble where he really doesn't need to be causing trouble. Money is tight around and about at the moment, particularly today. As I'm doing this reading, the stock markets are crashing all over the place because of the tariff situation. It's not the best time to be insisting, stamping your little petulant foot and saying, gimme, 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 because I'm a prince who abandoned king and country to go and make his fortune somewhere else. So that's my bit of snark. It's my opinion. But the cards are showing a sort of a degree of contempt, even, I would say, in that Temperance card in reverse. How's it going to play out, unfold ultimately for Harry and Meghan? Are they going to get their wish? Are they going to get their full security back when this thing goes back to Ravik? If it goes back to Ravik, because it looks like there's a little fly in the ointment here and it might not go back to Ravik. So what's going to be the ultimate outcome of all of this? I've got the King of Cups. The King might swing this. Harry's right, that 10 of Pentacles. The King might just intervene, which is quite a sickening. I feel quite sickened by this energy that's coming through. it says charming or charismatic, sorry, warm-hearted, intuitive, empathetic. That's the King of Cups, is King Charles. It's not William's energy. William will be the one that takes it away if he can. But it looks to me as if Harry is right to that Ten of Pentacles energy I've got there. A whisper to the court, a whisper to Ravik. I need Darling Boy back in the UK. I need to make it possible for him to save face so he doesn't have to climb down, and he can get the motorbikes wherever he goes, the outriders, running pedestrians down, as unfortunately did actually happen. So that is not snark. Once, quite recently, it looks like he's going to get his way ultimately. I hate to say that. I hate to see this showing up. But I think that the situation behind the scenes with King Charles is much more serious than we are being told publicly. That's my personal opinion. I've read on it very recently. I think things are looking quite grim. I think that the King will have Harry back. However, he gets him back in the UK, back in the royal fold to protect him before whatever happens and Prince William takes over. That is my opinion. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I hope that I am absolutely wrong with this reading. I really do, because I don't think Gingerbread, as some people call him, deserves to have this honour. And it is an honour. There it is. That's the reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.